I'm Maya Mayhem, and I'm here to shoot some incredibly awesome trans porn with Toby. And yeah, I'm excited. So I think being queer is something that's definitely different for everyone, but for me, it's been a slow process that I kind of embraced while I embraced being trans. It came to me at the same time. To me, for me, it's about being a dyke and being proud of that, and it's about being totally okay with going against the grain and doing things differently than people normally do, or say that things normally should be, or you know, it's a different set of ideals, I think, and sexual ideals, and that's an important ideal. And so, to me, being queer is about, you know, it's about having interest in the people that interest me, and it's just part of my identity, I guess. I can't say that the type of porn that I've done has been a great source of income, or, you know, it's taken me extremely far and I've amassed great wealth, and nothing like that. To me, it's been about art. It's been about letting my artistic soul loose, and I don't open up the way I open up in porn with anything else. There's nothing else that sets me off, and it's even a little bit different than just having sex with partners, because there's this just this fire in me that when the camera's on and it's rolling, my nerves kind of give way to energy, and I just give it this all that has never been given before. And so I'd say that porn has helped me to find myself, my sexual being, and to really come into my own as a sexual creature. And so to me, it's kind of sacred, and it's totally entwined with my sexuality as a whole. So porn means a lot to me. Wow, that's really hard. What article of clothing encapsulates my sexuality? It's really hard because it would kind of have to be two, because my sexuality is very much multiple personality. I don't know, can I get away with saying a pleated plaid miniskirt but with some combat boots? Does that work? Because I kind of need something frilly and femme, and something that's really my hard-edged inside butch personality showing through. The wildest place I've ever had sex. Wow. There's a few. A tree and in the mud. On set with quite a few people looking on too. I did an abduction scene and was fucked face down into brown that was actually softer than we even thought it was, and I ended up going about a good foot into the mud. Well, no, maybe not a foot, about half a foot or so. But the point is, yeah, when I came out, whole front of me was just covered in mud, but I enjoyed every last minute of it. It was a great experience.
That's really...
And just to stand up and to see everyone that had been watching, I didn't even realize they were watching, all kind of clapping, and I'm there covered in mud, was quite an experience. Playing dress up totally sets me off. Absolutely. I mean, there's a few, but that's the thing I can think of really early on. When I was a kid, I used to love tons of makeup and really over-the-top, extravagantly femme clothes, and I'm not a femme at all, so it's amusing to some people that I'm you know, I get excited and I'm ooh, I want to dress up, you know, pick out clothes for me to wear, or that kind of thing. And it definitely still gives me a thrill to this day. And it's inspired me to go further with my style and my expression than just one straightforward butch aesthetic and mindset and everything, and kind of it's opened me up to feel like I can play with my look every day, and so that right there is a big part of my sexuality, I think. they wanted to take me on a date, how could they really impress me? You can impress me by showing that you're as much of a geek as me. That's a big one. The same type of geek especially. So if you're a film geek or music geek especially, or, you know, computers do it for me a little bit too, technology, AV stuff. If you're a geek in the right ways, then we're just gonna get along no matter what, and it's a quick way to my heart too. But a really good taste in food helps too. So being taken to a nice restaurant will help that. Yeah, I like simple things. I like good conversation and you know, being able to have a laugh over stuff that we both enjoy. That's what really makes me. Wow, that's never really been my thing, to be honest. The whole food in bed, as much as I love food. What would be like hottest to incorporate in bed? I've never done it, but I've always liked the idea of like using a person's body as a sushi platter. Like that sounds really cool to me. Not something I do in a lot of thought though.
No, that's a good one.
I'm gonna go with sushi platter. Well, like, can I just say like most of what the porn industry does relating to trans women? Like, I love how a really small percentage of studios work with trans women. It's great, and this is one of them. I'm happy to be working here, but I can't deal with the mainstream folks most of the time. I start talking to them, and we, you know, hash things out, and it looks like, and then somebody acts really flaky or is just completely disrespectful. And so a big thing to me would be education, and just making sure that everyone in the porn industry really understands that trans women are women before being trans, exclusive of being, you know, aside from being trans, and that we have our own independent bodies and need to be respected both for our gender and for our unique bodies. And if that's not done with the utmost respect, then it's going to come across terribly, and it's going to contribute to the stigmas and the negativity that you see floating around when it comes to trans women, and the way terms that are used for trans women in porn are then used as slurs on the street. That's a sign of a problem in the industry as a whole. So there's a lot of things I'd want to change if I was trying to change porn as a whole. But I think queer porn's already making some really great decisions when it comes to this kind of stuff, and I'm really seeing a lot of things that make me happy come out of a few companies, these really small, great indie companies, and I'm proud to be a part of that, for sure.